From Psalm 90. O Lord, you have been our refuge from one generation to the next. Before the mountains were born, or the earth or the world brought forth, you are God, without beginning or end. You turn back men to dust and say, Go back, sons of men, because to your eyes 1,000 years are like yesterday, come and gone, no more than a watch in the night. All our days pass away in your anger. Our life is over like a sigh. Our span is 70 years, or 80 for those who are strong. Make us know the shortness of our life, that we may gain wisdom of heart. In the morning, fill us with your love. We shall exult and rejoice all our days. And so we pray, you are just, Lord God, and righteous are your judgments. Deliver those who cry to you in their affliction, and give them peace and calm to reflect on your commands. Amen. Today is Monday. It's the last day of February 2022. Thank you so much for joining the Early Rise on the Bridge Nation. This is the station where we take a long look at the Jamaican experience. We reach out to people of Jamaican origin, Jamaican affection all over the world, and we say, come home with us. Share the lyrics, share the music, share the vibes of the nation that has so much to offer to each of us and to the world. The tourist people call Jamaica the heartbeat of the world. Well, that's an attractive phrase. Our task is to share a little bit to make that a reality. That means that the integrity, the humor, the wisdom of the nation, forged on tough anvils of slavery, of colonialism, of distress, can survive and can thrive in the laughter, in the care, in the compassion, in the productivity of this age. So that's why we rise every morning early and come on the Bridge 99 to share that. I'll be joined by Pearnel Charles Sr. a little bit later, and we're going to look at the affairs of the nation. We're going to link up as if he were right here with folks in the diaspora who can tell us how the Jamaican spirit is being cultivated, how you are reacting to the affairs of the world. We want to listen, we want to tell, we want to synthesize, we want to move forward. And so join us on the Bridge 99.13579 on the FM dial, and share with us, if you will, although it's early, on the WhatsApp line. It's 876-551-5782. And the studio line is 876-676-4996. It's a bridge. It's the Early Rise. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, we'll give you the weather report in a little while, and we'll tell you that it's warm and cool. Is that a contradiction? A warm and cool? Well, it's both, eh? It's going to be warm today, but it's cool this morning in the tropics of Jamaica. I can't say that it's been a comfortable weekend for our people. We are very alert to what's happening in the world, you know, perhaps more so than many of those who live in isolated cocoons in other places where they don't have to look out very much. We do. Jamaica is not a bubble living with itself. There's some people who make that mistake, but we don't. We link with the struggles, with the opportunities of people everywhere in the world. And we've been particularly concerned over this weekend with the fate of the Jamaicans who live in Ukraine. First of all, you can't separate their concerns, their tragic odyssey, without looking at the broader scene. What unnecessary cruelty is going on in that part of Europe among people who are among the breadbasket countries of Europe and of the world, people who, by comparison to others, seem to have so much advantage, and yet they're now at each other's throats, shedding blood, causing dramatic and massive displacement, overturning people's lives. That's a institutions are being used for evil rather than for good. So, there's not much we can do, but what we can do is learn lessons, and make sure that we really don't ever go that way in our own lives. All right. This morning, the people in high places who know what is going on or have their strong opinions, and they say that this Mr. Putin is becoming unhinged. They're reflecting on his mental condition. How can he justify the onslaught, now to include Belarus, we're told, joining Russia's invasion of Ukraine? And so the best that Jamaica can do is to pull our people out as quickly as possible. And after an uncertain start, I am pleased to know that the government seems to be taking a strong position to ensure that our Jamaican students, one's a member of my church, oddly, young girls studying medicine, are being brought out. I hope so. Yeah. So we're following that story in Jamaica, Bridge Nation. But also, we are reflecting on the unnecessary tragedy of human discord. And you can say, oh, but that's a feature of human nature. That's the story of history, of our history. That's the world. Huh? Really? There's a 3-mile-long Russia convoy on the roadway to Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. What am I going to do? And do they think they can kill the spirit of a people? You can overturn a government, but for what? How does that make sense? And then you frighten the rest of us. Yes? You alienate the rest of us if you think you can live in your own empire and nobody touch you. You alienate and frighten us by telling us you're putting your nuclear weapons. You're putting your nuclear weapons on alert? No, something is terribly wrong. What is amiss with the soul of people who feel that their own power, their own imperial ambitions, their own sense of danger, because there must be that too, is such that they can imperil the rest of us? Really? Really? No. Jamaica, small, inconsequential in world affairs by virtue of our size and numbers, must have a strong moral voice. And I'm pleased that we have, I was worried that we might not, have joined with CARICOM and made clear what our position is towards peace, towards territorial integrity. Yeah, that's very important. And I'm disappointed, let me just say it straight, with our Chinese friends. I have high regard for the Chinese people and their considerable friendship and assistance to Jamaica in so many ways. But I gather the Chinese government is siding with the Russians. Yeah? Well, we have to tell them very simply and very clearly that we don't agree with that, and we wish they would otherwise. And what is behind that alliance? Can that alliance improve the condition of humanity in the world? Can it ease and bring to some proportionality the price of oil that is going to affect us so much? Many years ago, if you put 50 cents on the gallon of gas at the time, you would get a riot in Jamaica. Now, the price of a liter of gas is over $200. As a direct consequence of what is taking place in other parts of the world, because we don't produce the oil. What a mistake it was to scorn the Venezuelan connection that saved us for so long, Petrocaribe. I don't know how long that could have lasted, and I know they have their problems, and I'm not going into that. But all I'm saying is that the full brunt of prices that are out of control are now hitting us, and it's going to hurt us. Yeah. And so I'm really wondering, I don't have any words for the Russians this morning. They must know their own selves and their own conscience. But why are the Chinese siding with them? Okay? And the United States, again, very respectfully, you don't have much of an example about internal interventions in other countries to teach us, But nevertheless, we're not going to hold history against anybody. What we really want now is for those talks, is it on the border of Ukraine and Belarus, towards a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. We want them to to get along and to have some solution as quickly as possible, because blood is flowing, even as we scurry to get our young people and our Jamaican citizens, because we are everywhere, out of the danger zone. And I'd like to say something else. As the press yesterday in Jamaica told us that so many of our young people, small in numbers but significant, who want to further their education, particularly in the field of health, medical studies and other related disciplines, they go to places like Ukraine because they're offered an economical tuition. Yeah? And so they have been placed at a great distance and now at risk. Okay, so when they come back to Jamaica this time, listen, let's not think about sending them back there, Yes, because it's going to be unsettled in Ukraine for a long time. And so what we must do is to make sure that we provide for them here so that they can go to school here and finish their education. Wouldn't that be the right response? Could we find, in the midst of our tight economy or mixed up budget or profligacy in some respects, couldn't we find enough money to make sure that they can go to school here rather than having to go back to a place which is so unsettled, probably contentious for a long while? That's the least we could do, I would think. It would be a great magnanimous gesture. Could we help in that? Could we set up that? Now, can you think of their uncertainty? They're leaving their best chance of a future, that is to get a profession, having to come home because of the circumstances, but they don't know what's going to happen after that. They still can't afford the $3 million a year or more that it costs to go to medical school in Jamaica. And I'm sure it's similar for the other professions. Some may be following. And so let's find it possible to do that, Perhaps we should broaden that discussion a little bit before we break, because if we look at our education system, and if we really want to take the Orlando Patterson Commission seriously, we should follow them. They say, spend some of the money that you're spending on tertiary education, that is university and heart, after high school courses, yes, and put some of that into early childhood education. Well, yes, I agree with that. But then the tertiary education seen as starved of funds too, and therefore you're going to have to find ways of assisting students in a different fashion. Everybody knows that the finances of the University of the West Indies in Jamaica is on a very, very shaky footing. And therefore we have to make sure now that we rethink entirely how we're going to fund tertiary education, because we must build on solid foundations. And if the early childhood situation isn't strong, then the tertiary education cannot be strong. And I'm just going to be clear and state a position for discussion later on. While additional years of school, as government is proposing, 2 further years of school, more school must be a good thing. Please, just stopping there is a mistake. If students reach grade 11, that is the last year of high school, normal high school, intake CSEC, if you can't read and write and you can't do maths, offering you another 2 years is not the answer. The answer is to, can I say it clearly? Do it right the first time. Students who can read and write and get their examination results do not find themselves in trouble to go to a place of tertiary education. All right? It is when they have limited foundation and cannot be certified at the end of high school that you have to spend this huge amount of money to remediate, which sum of money takes away from the very first task, which is to ensure that everybody leaving primary school has a firm foundation. Read the letter of the day in the Gleaner today, where a teacher, yes, and I happen to know that she's an excellent teacher, yes, is saying if you don't fix the primary system, which includes the pre-primary system, all that you pile on the top is not going to have any real effect. So let's discuss that this morning. This is the Early Rise on the Bridge 99. Let's take a break and come back. 27 minutes after 5 in Jamaica this Monday morning as we welcome the Honourable Pearnel Charles. Good morning, sir. Thank you for being with us. We'll turn it up for you.
Good morning, Ronnie. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Well, you're looking great this morning.
I thank you very much. There's a smile on my face, but a pain in my heart. You must have been concerned over the weekend with the escalation of this war in Europe. And here we have, it brings it close home. One of the students affected is a member of my church.
Yes.
And we've been very concerned about her, along with her family. And here we're hearing, it's reported Minister Johnson Smith saying 2 Jamaican students on a 20-kilometer walk in cold temperatures from Lviv, Ukraine to Poland have fallen ill. The students were given a choice to go back towards Lviv or walk the journey, and they decided to walk.
Well, you know, Ronnie, I'm not upset about that.
No?
Young people like challenges.
Yeah.
I remember
You're walking away from danger,
I had to walk from the subway at 4th Street to New York University.
Yeah.
And the short thing that catch you just below your navel.
Okay.
When it was 4 degrees.
Wow.
Right? And I've never seen it before, never had it before.
Yeah.
So, you like challenges.
Yeah, but not when you're running away from danger and gunfire and...
No, and that is a sad thing about it.
Yeah.
And I heard it this morning, but I am more concerned.
Tell me.
About the institutions that have been set up to have one voice. That the United Nations should be able, as a collective group, to say to one of their members, look, the rest of us are asking you, are demanding of you. But it is created in such a way that some 2 or 3 persons on the Security Council
have the veto.
Can say, I don't care what you guys want to say.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
And once one person said the answer is
That's
no,
it.
That's it.
Yeah.
The bad thing about it is that they're going to say no before you spend all this time and go there and set up the world to expect this and that.
Yeah. So we can do better than that. Is what you're saying? Let me ask you the consequence of it. Is nationalism dead? Is nationalism? Does nationalism have to give way to internationalism in the modern world?
Well, nationalism is personal. It don't know. If as a countries, my nationalism is different from yours.
Yeah.
Right? How my nation thinks is different from how your nation thinks.
History,
and I am going
culture.
towards mine. There's internationalism, where we say that all of us have decided collectively is a word.
But every country in the world is going to be affected by what is going on in Europe right now.
But that's what is bothering me. That's what I was talking to you all last night. I said, Ronnie, what is the use of saying to me and you and the world that we have a forum in which all members of the world sits and they discuss matters and they take a decision. There's no democratic process to say 170 agree, 160 disagree, the 170 is right, and therefore the 160 collectively say, go ahead, we have to join you. We don't have that. So, one country, led by one man, is able to say to the rest of the world, I don't care what you guys want to say.
Screw you.
And they move there, sit there, and move slowly on, killing women, children, men, destroying everything in their way.
And sir, escalating the gas price in Jamaica.
Hold on. I come into that.
Okay.
Because it was what, $5 in New York.
In New York.
That's about what?
$4.77. Our price is about just brushing close to that.
Well, remember, we are liter and they are gallon, right?
Yes, I worked it out.
Okay. And we have to pay for transportation. We have to pay for our costs, our profit. So when the price is not now 2 something,
200 and something per litre.
270.
200, no, about 220 per litre if you for the 90
All right.
gas.
So you can look for it going toward 4 or 5.
But then,
And the big cry is going to be, Mr. Wonis, did you cause it?
well, no, well, not totally. He causes it because he takes almost half of that in tax, but in terms of the base price, he doesn't cause that. Yesterday, for the first time, Mr. Charles, in the press, I don't know if you might have missed it, Mr. Winston Watson of Petrojam.
Yes.
He's a public servant who I have regard for. Yes, he began an article or wrote an article about how we price petroleum in this country. And we have said before that this was a mystery. And it shouldn't be a mystery because it's we paying for it. We should know all of the elements of it. He hasn't answered all my questions at all, and I'd love to have him on this program. But at least it is the first time that I'm hearing somebody in his position give a full explanation there. But
You weren't around and Morris Cargill was carrying that burden. Morris Cargill had carried, in his column, a similar situation.
Really?
I think he got some answers.
Yes.
Because he demanded it.
Yes, good.
And he got support.
Good.
But it's not something that we get from those who are serving us.
Well, but they
We are paying
so what I'm good for.
and waiting for the announcement.
So what I'm good
and
for.
move on.
Yes, what I'm good for. Hello, sir, you and I, we both have you permanently, me previously. They call us honorable. If you don't serve, if you don't give people what they reasonably ask for, we are called yourself honorable for.
Well, it's not the honorable, you know. Why you call yourself that you're living in a democracy?
Yes.
If you alone
Yes.
is deciding,
Yes.
move on, don't listen to anybody else.
No,
we have a word for that.
Yes.
If it's democracy, then all of us, you know the French, right?
Yes.
You're
Yes.
right? All of us should decide.
Yes.
Yeah, we bring it down to the majority because it's almost impossible to get all of us. So we say all plus one.
Okay, and that's a start. That's not the end of democracy, though some people behave as if it is. But we must make sure that our system is really proven, palpably, obviously better than Mr. Putin type. And I said this morning, I don't know if you want to agree with me, but I'm disappointed in our Chinese friends.
Well,
They're really disappointed.
I'm not only disappointed with the Chinese. I'm asking the question, what is the use of a United Nation? What is the use of a Security Council?
It is better to have it. Than
If
not,
they
even
cannot
though it have
collectively
it have broke
say
foot.
to a member,
Yeah,
the rest of us
yeah,
in this unit,
yeah,
say don't go outside.
yeah.
And if you go outside, we're going to stop you.
Yeah. So
No.
we have a world system now that because of armaments and economic power, yes, one man, no doubt backed by oligarchs and others, I don't know, Mr. Putin, yes, is able to lock up every man jack in Russia who said stop the war, who is against it. Yeah, that's what he did over the weekend.
Not only like that,
Yeah.
it started before.
Yeah.
You cannot contest against him
Right, sir.
for where he is.
So wait, no?
And women and children in his
Right.
own country
Yeah.
calling on him and say thousands and thousands of us are saying,
Yeah.
leave the people alone.
Yeah.
They lock them up.
You lock them up.
I don't know if they're going to come out.
Well, and then that's why I'm careful about arbitrary locking up. Very careful because it too resembles what him I do. That's why I don't want it here. Yeah, we're one man. Whether it's police constable or police inspector or president for life can take away my freedom. No, sir. No, mustn't do that. Mustn't have that at all. Yes, that is inimical to human flourishing. Whatever you say, whatever you do, whatever you're contrived to have done. But leave that one or move beyond that one. Here it is. He is able now to prejudice the rest of the world. Because while the little 25 cents come off the price of gas in Jamaica last week, we know that it is a brute lick we're going to get next week and the week after. when we have to cope with $100 a barrel gas. We know the light bill going to go up, which is the cost of production. We know that the poor Minister of Finance's head is going to be wetter than yours.
I would expect that Phillips is, that our man out in Port Royal.
Yeah, Paul Well.
Huh?
Paul Well.
Yes. I would like to ask Paul Well, what is the situation with the tax?
Mm-hmm.
How much it would, at today's price,
relieve
us?
Very little. But very little. But it is better. Well, the fact that it is little doesn't mean that it is inconsequential.
No. I just want to know, because if you take off 25 cents
$2
and then the price go up by $3,
yeah. Right. But
you're satisfying a psychology that.
Well, no, it's important. But apart from that, we have to now ask, what is the nature of the world? What is the view of humanity that allows, again, because it has happened in the past, God knows it has happened in the past, that allows one man in one country or one country to so impose itself on the rest of the world that it causes us diminution of our quality of life.
But when we asking a question, we know the answer, you know. We're asking a question if we know the answer. And we in this very studio knows it to the point where we are saying we don't want it in Jamaica.
No, and we don't.
And we do not support the world that want it in their country.
Yeah, and we must have
because we feel that the opposite is better. We're all of us suffering, whether we are uptown or downtown, and we decide that we'll go this way. And that is why I would like to know from Paul Well, who must have done some study, what would that figure out in liter?
I think he told us when he came on the program a few weeks ago. It's probably a few dollars.
Probably, you know. But you're talking more about the principle, rather than the quantum of what it's called.
I am. And I am saying that even...
And I'm saying, that if you take it off there, you have to find some way to put it.
Clearly.
Because
stop some of
it is already marked in the document.
By the way, can I just put something in brackets? Yesterday in the press in Jamaica, let our diaspora friends listening know, the government published a summary of the budget.
Yes.
It was very good.
Yes.
It raised many questions that were not answered because of you couldn't put everything and answer all of Ronnie's questions or anybody else's. But the fact that
that's a step in the right direction.
A step in the right direction.
I have never seen it before.
No, I haven't either. We even did it last year, but even then, this one gave me a lot of information and perspective that I would have had to have dug for in the big yellow book.
And go through that big book, not knowing which column to take.
Well, I still have to do that because, to get the further questions. But that's a good thing. Let's say it. But we need therefore to be aware that we have to hold on to certain principles. We have to engage ourselves in new ways because what is going on in Ukraine ought to mean that we think very quickly and very radically about how we do certain things in this country, sir.
Well,
no, seriously.
Because what bothers me in a major part of yesterday is that the rest of the world couldn't do anything about it.
Mm-mm.
No, that is serious. Mm-hmm. If one man can decide.
And he's doing it because he knows that
you can't do anything about it. And hear what he does now.
Yeah.
He said, if you dare try, I have an arsenal of nuclear weapons.
We're going to boom the whole of you into extinction. And I have the right to do that because I am determining that my interests go this way, even if the rest of the world not do that. And sadly, sir, the apex of democracy, the United States, has worked itself into a position where it has so bastardized its own notions of freedom and progress.
When I was talking to you last night, I started to quote them. Canada, United States, Japan, Britain, all of these countries,
Germany,
boast of the democratic principles.
Yeah.
And they can't do nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
They can do nothing about it. And the one that come out is come out in support of what Putin is going.
Not good.
And
God soon
you
come.
may, I heard somebody really saying, you may very well hear next week that they're going for Hong Kong.
Have mercy. Look at that. I didn't think of that.
Oh.
Oui, but it follows.
If you can
Hong Kong
support...
or Taiwan.
Exactly.
No. So you see, Jamaica now has to be clear.
We have to be careful. My mother always said, be careful of who you lie in bed with.
She's right.
You know that?
That's advice.
You know what that means? A holy for something.
Holy for something that.
Oh.
Very intimate and very national.
Oh, yes.
As well.
Very nationalist, very political, very cultural.
Right. So, sir, what we need to do now is to focus discussion on how we are going to make sure we survive and we prevent our people suffering from the upset in the world that we have. Yesterday, Lisa Hanna, the Member of Parliament, well known, wrote a piece in The Observer, and she was making the comparison that is quite often made about three countries at independence time, Singapore, Jamaica, and one in the Middle East, and how the other two have surged ahead. And she made the frightening point that Singapore people are able to buy 10 times more than Jamaicans, where we started at the same base. What has happened?
Yeah, hold on, you should tell her. What Singapore people were forced to put up with, we wouldn't put up with it.
No, but hold on now. That is true. But let us examine that a little further.
Yes.
Because one of the things that we agree with them that should be done, that we are still hesitant to do, is to ensure that all of our people have a very sophisticated, high-quality education.
Yes, but even that, to get a high-quality education requires certain base support.
Sure.
And we are frightened about building the base.
Yes.
We have not yet agreed that you can have a government.
Yes.
Well, don't Michael Manley started it?
Yeah.
He said, all right, we're going to pay for free university education.
Yeah.
What happened? It run the budget dry.
Yeah.
And when they said, well, we can't go any further, we couldn't make the sacrifice. They, in Singapore, didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
When Lee Kuan Yew said, bomb, it's bomb.
Yeah, but you see, hold on.
He was a top trade unionist, you know, and he banned the trade unions.
Yes, but wait a minute. He did that. He was able to do those things by instituting an autocracy, which in essence is no different from Mr. Putin. Okay?
Oh, yes.
He used it in a different way.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
but it end up saying the same thing.
Yes, sir, but we have a two-party system where we say, no, we're not going in that direction. We want choice. We want... But what we have done is to allow choice, which is a good thing, which is an element of human freedom, which in my view cannot be sacrificed. We have allowed it to divide us in such a way that we underproduce.
We underproduce because of what I told you several weeks ago. Whatever we do, we're looking at the pie. And the pie is the politics of being at the top.
So we have a choice.
And we have a choice.
So we have a choice. We either go the way of the autocrat, and there's some people in the government of Jamaica right now who want to do that.
Yes.
Yes. Or what we do is to come to a far more noble and possible alternative, which is to share power and to balance that sharing in a way that we can go forward without having one man or one party rule.
Ronnie.
What about that, sir? I'm putting that to you, Honourable.
Yeah, but look at it this way. In both parties you have that.
Sure.
If
Sure.
If the opposition comes out tomorrow morning and supports the government, there are people who are going to say...
So change the system. The good thing that happened over the weekend, we haven't heard the details yet, but that the Vale Royal talks between government and opposition began, interestingly, at 7:30 yesterday morning.
Yes.
No,
they were at Vale Royal.
That's fine. Can you manage Sunday morning? I mean, when some of us were doing other things, these people sat down. That's a good sign. I don't know what they talked about. I hope that it wasn't trivia. I hope it wasn't just to face off against each other. But I think the reason I'm raising this, sir, with you is because of our backgrounds and our positions, but also because we need to build a public opinion on the Bridge Nation, in EarlyRise, and everywhere we can, to say, listen, brethren, that's what you have to do. And you have to come to an agreement. You have to share this thing because the whole of us in it, yes? And you have good points, but you don't have the fullness of wisdom. And the Charter of Rights, which a Jamaica Labour Party government supported by a PNP opposition at the time, you and I were part of both, passed the Charter of Rights. We don't have to give up any of that. But what we have to do is to find common cause within the crucible of freedom. Maximum freedom. We are not Putin. We are not Lee Kuan Yew. We are brighter than the whole of them. And
I will make the joke again for the people in the diaspora.
Yes.
Just know that what you have just said, you are reading from a script that written by me and you.
Praise the Lord.
But the fact is, Ronnie, the fact is this, that we know what is to be done.
Yes.
What we know is that not all of it can be done. Not all, and we know. Let's not fool ourselves.
Yes.
Because, again, nobody wants to stay in what we call opposition. I told you.
No, but we don't have to stay in opposition. If we're sharing, it's not a case of I win, you lose. It's a case of us that we both work.
Well, that's you. That's you. But when you are in there, that's not how it goes.
No, but so I want change in there. I want your support for that.
Well, before I get that.
Before we do that, Russia's currency, we're reading on the CNN tracker, is crashing as the West targets countries' banks. You know my reaction, Mr. Charles?
Yes.
A good. A good. They're supposed to feel it. Yes, Russia's currency is crashing. They're supposed to feel it because what they're doing is immoral. It's wrong.
Ronnie.
Yes? Go back to that now.
Yeah, but let me make a quick comment on that.
All right, go on.
I don't know how any leader on what we would call the Democratic side can be happy today that they couldn't influence a minority of the opposition side to be sympathetic to women, children. Men, institutions.
All over the world. Not only people there, but all over the world.
And that one situation in Russia is right across the world.
Well,
and we are going to feel it. Well, I read yesterday that 11% of the oil exported from these two countries will affect us.
Well,
and the percentage of wheat and flour.
Well, I was going to go to that. Wheat and barley, these are price of bread in Jamaica going to go up.
Of course, so,
oh, have mercy.
And so you and I are going to sit here and you're going to hear people say the government can't handle it.
Yeah.
The government can't handle it. It's beyond the government.
No, it's not. It's beyond the government in the short run, but in the long run, in the thing we are saying is not to blame. I'm not casting any blame on anybody. All I'm saying is, look, brethren, we have been saying this, Mr. Charles, if the wheat that make the bread is going to the price go up, come we grow more breadfruit, come we grow more cassava, yes, and try to substitute for it. And bust our very big and very fertile brains ensure.
You know your pet talk.
Yes, sir.
That I disagree with you. And I'm sorry I have to disagree with you because
never mind.
It sounds good. There's no way you can take the 35 and 40-year-old gang members and educate them now. So you have to go to the 5-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and educate them so that they don't end up there.
Yeah.
So we have 25 to 30,000. And by the way, let me stop because I need to ask you, can we say congratulations to the police at least once? they have picked up one of the men who has plucked out the eye of this woman driving into Clarendon.
And
Grace Kennedy woman.
Yes, and I saw that, thank God, and they have arrested and charged him.
Yes.
Okay, once they've arrested and charged him and bring him before the courts so that we can prove that he did it, yeah? Because police say him do it is not...
No, the police, no.
They have enough evidence.
What I want to congratulate is that over the past, and I know I broke from what I was saying, over the past few months, we have heard some exciting things about the leadership of the police in various across the island, the superintendents who have been catching these guys crossing boundaries, coming in. Where are they putting them? Who are they? Right? So you catch 1, 2,
and what charges are they facing the court?
Well, we hear the charges.
No. Very often we don't hear the charges. We hear that the so-and-so has been arrested. Yes, we don't hear the charges. We were told some time ago. Yes, let me first of all agree with you. If this despicable crime that you used as your base, if we have found somebody who we credibly believe evidence and have evidence was involved with it, congratulations. Let's put him before the court. Let his trial begin week after next, soon as he can find a lawyer to defend him. Yes, and let's deal with it. That's my principle. Not 3 years down the line, but my memory is long. Commissioner of Police tell us that they have broken the gang members in St. James and that they have arrested so many of them, yes? And that the process of law is going to take place. Which trial?
Yeah, but hold on now.
Which court?
But is that his job?
Three. No.
That's not his job.
No, it's government's job.
That's why I want to congratulate them. They are doing their job.
No, I don't believe that, frankly. I really don't believe that. Over 3,000 people in the state of emergency detained, yes, and less than 5% charged. What is that?
No, Ronnie, the police has said they're going to a district where gangs decide to do what they want to do. They might pick up 10 men and prevent them doing what they were going to do. In the 2 or 3 days that you called for, put them before some...
No, court. No, don't want to tell me about any tribunal. Tell me about a court of law.
But, Ronnie, how many cases before in the court? Now, the Chief Justice just tell us, right? That's what we are doing. Yeah. Cases won't try for years.
No. Then let us have more court, more judges. We can well afford that.
Oh, Lord.
Absolutely. No question. There can be no... Hello, Mr. Charles.
Let us have more money and drop the price of gas.
As a man... No, sir, I have to pinch you personally. As a man who has been the subject and the victim of injustice, there are no shortcuts to justice. None.
Ronnie, there are no shortcut to justice, but some of the journey to justice is long.
And we can
why?
And we can
Too much of us doing there.
We can do something about that.
Well,
we can
do something about
that.
it.
Yes,
you're in it. If you can do something about it,
absolutely, and we can talk about that. There are plenty of things that we have to do now that are pressing on my heart to share with you this morning. Bearing in mind this upset in Europe, bearing in mind the effects that we are going to feel from it, isn't this the time for us to say, look here, things weren't so hot from the start. Things have been made worse by COVID. Now we have international upset bearing on us, depressing our economic prospects. Isn't it time that you stop and say, hold on, now, come we rethink this thing? Let us determine our principles. What are we trying to achieve for the majority of our people? It just can't go on so.
No, it cannot go on so. Mm-hmm. And what started yesterday morning, we hope is the beginning of what we around this table, speaking to our brothers and sisters around the world, would like to see happen.
Yeah.
And they come out of it united, regardless of who wins the election, who is this and who is that. We come out of it, say, this is the best for all our people.
Bridge Nation, people in the diaspora, people in Jamaica. Did you just hear that? Senior member of the Jamaica Labour Party, the governing party in Jamaica now, okay? Man with a long and illustrious political pedigree, yes, has just stated what we think is needed to move Jamaica forward. What a note to break on.
Ronnie,
yes?
10 seconds.
10 seconds?
I say,
yeah.
if we don't look at what we call democracy,
the Putins will continue to take advantage of us. The Putins will arise, and they will come and take advantage of us. This is the Early Rise on the Bridge Nation. You won't hear this anywhere else. Stay tuned. We'll soon come back. The Honourable Pearnel Charles and myself talking the affairs of the nation. Going to welcome in a little while Nathaniel Peat. Remember him? He's chairman of Jamaicans Inspired. I love that title, you know. Jamaicans Inspired, a large diaspora group organized in the United Kingdom. An elected member for the South United Kingdom on the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. They're having a webinar which is going to look at the needs of returning residents to Jamaica and what the diaspora leaders are doing to help our students in Ukraine. Listen up for that at about 6:30 this morning, coming up on the Early Rise. So, sir, the thought I have is that we're going to have to rely more on our own food. We're going to have to try and economize and rationalize public transportation. And another area that I'm really anxious, given your background, to ask you about is how to make local government more efficient. A lot of money, a lot of potential is possible if we organize better public affairs at the local level. I find the parish councils, the municipal councils as they are now called, a real disappointment, you know.
Well, Ronnie, I must tell you the truth. I don't want to call names, but I have sat with leaders.
You've been a minister of local government.
Yes, I've sat with leaders who, and I'm going to use a word here, agree that we could do without some of what has been assigned to parish councils. I was also a parish councillor.
Oh, yes, I forgot that.
Yes, yeah, I was 2 terms of parish councillor in KCC.
Worthwhile?
No. No.
Listen to him.
But we didn't do anything that the Minister of Local Government couldn't do.
Yeah. But isn't...
And cut out the long argument and quarrel and fight and this and that.
And look at the corruption.
Well, you might have been in some of the meeting under the table, hearing what is happening and what has happened, not only in this set of people, but in what is expected. Let me tell you something. Our supporters, and I don't know if you'll agree with me, our supporters have reached a stage where they expect and they demand certain things of you that if the public knows, you'll go to prison.
Yes.
That man come and ask me, say, if him can't get our money,
Yeah.
if we don't get money to pick the road, him can't get our money out of it.
Yeah.
And he could only ask you that because either his mind tell him that it has been happening or it has happened and it should continue.
Right.
It is hell when you tell him no, him say, yeah, take it for yourself.
Yeah.
Now, I've been out of Parliament since the last election, both of us, right?
Yes.
And I'm still getting the calls.
Me too.
I'm still getting called for tickets to travel. I'm still getting called for help, right? And I said, but I'm not there anymore. I said, but Mr. Charles, you have contact. So the system has trained the mind of people in a certain way, which is very, very bad. Because if you don't respond, they say you're wicked. You're thief. You're taking it for yourself. And I don't know. Sometimes I said, some people throw their hands up, they give up, and wondering whether it makes sense. You know? But it's a problem. It's a big problem.
Well, so why don't we just do what Mr. Seaga did many years ago? Just suspend them. I don't agree with that, by the way. I believe in the principle of subsidiarity, which is that no higher order ought to take on the tasks that can be done at the base, at the lower order. Yes? But that which our municipal councils should be doing, yes, they fall into the trap that you have just described.
You weren't interested in politics or participating in politics. You were minister of local government.
If I wasn't interested?
No, I said you weren't involved, so
Yeah.
you don't know.
No.
So let me tell you, you had slightly one.
Yeah.
We used to put like 10 and 12 trucks in Coronation Market to clean Coronation Market every Saturday night.
Yeah.
So that people can come back to market on Sunday.
Right.
What were they cleaning? All the banana trash that come from St. Anne, Trelawney,
Sure.
St. Mary,
Sure.
Hanover. And the whisk that cover the yam, the basket, the trash, and this.
Anything left?
So I said, hold on. What? Where we get the money to pay this truck? I walk over to Coronation Market. I call the truckers. I said, I want to meet all truck men right here today. I said, tell me something. You carry banana from Trelawney? Yes, sir. You carry banana from St. Mary? Yes, sir. Where your trash there? In the corner. I said, no. Every bit of your trash must go back to St. Mary, go plant, go mulch your land. Every truck that come in with banana, trash, waste, you take out the food, you put in the market, you put by the truck. Because what? The truck is going back empty.
Yeah. And leave you an expensive problem
Let me tell you something. It started to happen. I save money. Have I told anybody after me that that's the way to do?
Yeah.
They said, boss, we don't know if we can do that. Go to the markets now.
Yeah.
You have a team that spend hours to clean up the same thing that the men decide they don't have to carry it no more because the bad boy Charles gone. They tell you one more.
The bad boy Charles.
Men used to deposit the garbage and Marcus garbage drive.
Oh?
Heaps of garbage. So I said, I hired 2 men. I said, here, my friend. All you have to do is take the license plate and call me when the truck arrives. And I set out, because I know the time. When I arrive at Marcus Garbage Drive, and there are 6 loads of garbage where you have just deposited yours, all 6 was put there by you.
Pick it up.
6 of them. And until you do that, the police is standing by. And we did that about 6 times in the gullies.
So,
man, stop it.
So we know what to do.
We know what to do, but
So why we don't do it?
Because we need 2 little things, right? You know those 2 little things?
What to?
That, that you have to have to do it, because, trust me.
Yes.
So people said to me, trying to mash up, I said, no.
No.
Ronnie, you know what I discovered?
What?
The people love it.
But of course. So
and the people, just like in Singapore, some of the things that we say was so undemocratic, it becomes something that they wish to work with.
So, sir, what is that telling us now?
Let me tell you one last one. When I was Minister of Public Utility and Transport, you know, the nicest place for the minibus them to run, through the plazas and through the gas station.
Yeah.
You know what they used to have in there?
What?
They have some jute box.
Yes, sir.
That if you stop beside on the bus, it shake up your car.
Sure.
And I said, hold on now. I am Minister of Public Utility. No, that can't work. At 3 o'clock I get up in the morning, 4 o'clock I'm in half a tree now. When you come down, doom, you put me on my ear till you arrive. You say, boss man, take out that, You say, no, we can't, because the people love it, sir. The people's rocking in it. I say, they love it. Well, I tell the truth, I don't love it. You see, the red plate you have on belong to me. Take off the 2 of them. I said to the police, since you can't take them off, you make him drive without it. Police say you have to park at the gas station, park at the police station. When 6 and 7 minibus park, and the owner come, they say, so we fire them. Ronnie, you see bus drive through plaza anymore? You see bus drive through gas station anymore?
Start do it again, but is
no,
that
but
not
hold
your
on, they're
fault?
doing something.
Yeah.
Try and drive on Mullins Road.
Yeah.
I don't know if I am the only that when a man reach at the gas station going towards the boulevard, him take the right side of the road. And when you are coming up, you have a bank on the side for give him pass.
Yes, sir. But hold on now. What is the lesson of all of this? This is important detail you're giving us.
Yes.
Because this says to me what that our people, once they get constructive discipline,
Right.
are prepared to go along with it.
Ronnie,
But-
even those who are committing the thing
Yeah.
agree.
But then hold on, sir, because then that is a responsibility. Yes. First of all, we must train our children to accept order. Yes, not cruelty. Yes, not advantage taking. Yes, not slave master tactics, but to train them in the benefits of order. That it is not right to take the right hand side of the road. Yes,
You know what
to
a
go
man
your
told
way.
me?
One and two. You must have. There must be an authority, a government. Yes, police, the arm of the state. Yes, to insist that that is done. If you do, once you show people the opportunity as well as the sanction, I believe that this notion that we are just indisciplined people and so black people stay, or all of the other things that we say. Yes, this is unnecessary. It is untrue.
Ronnie, I proved to them
Yeah.
who thought that I was going to be a one-term MP
Yeah.
and a one-term minister,
Yeah.
that the people love it.
Well, look at that now.
The people love it.
So why have we?
Hold on. I can't tell you the rest this morning because I'm going to start talking too much about myself. I'm going to give you the name. You ever hear them call about a man named Hurricane Charles?
Yes, sir.
You know how you get the name?
No.
All right, and I'll tell you this morning. You think about it.
It's a preview of coming attractions.
I'm going to tell you how you get the name Hurricane Charles.
Okay, so how? So I have the big question for you. Because you've given practical part answers. How do we restore a sense of discipline in this country without beat people over the head, without point gun in them face, without lock them up and forget what is happening?
Let me tell you how you do it.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you how Mama used to do it.
Yes, sir. Now we're waiting somewhere.
Mama, not beat you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You might have put you under the bed for an hour. Or put you behind the door. Everybody laughing after you. You know what I mean? Nobody laugh after you next time, you know. So there are ways of doing these things.
Right.
There are disciplines that can be created. There are punishment that don't break your hand and bust your head. Right? But it has to be constructively put in such a painful way that you don't do it again.
And what you're talking about, what happened when you were a child.
Exactly.
So therefore, what happens, you said it earlier.
Well, that's holy word. Don't move that. I was member of parliament where a woman decides a fair boy is so bad at school and teacher lick him. You know what she doing? She goes straight into the classroom and grab up the teacher right in her collar. I grab her right in her collar, so I lick my boy for. So therefore, no. How you going to do that boy? So the teacher will say, all right, send him come. See him chair over there.
Yeah.
The teacher don't see him again.
No.
And the teacher tell the next teacher, say, you remember the boy, when mother come grab you, he might come to you.
Yes.
And he go right through the system.
Of course.
Without being able to sign his name.
And then the mother thinks she do good.
And the mother say, the woman shouldn't touch my boy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, my father would tell the teacher, say, if him don't behave himself, don't put him behind no door. Don't put him on no bed. Right? Boss him, you finish the argument.
Yes, no, I will. I understand. And I don't think you have to go to that. I believe people are pliable once they are properly led, once they are given good example. One of the things that you have been clear about in all of the examples you have given this morning, and this is a teaching for you and me and for the people listening to us, is that you were the man on the spot. You went to Marcus Garvey Drive. You went to Coronation Market.
Yeah.
Yes? And you set some example. When our leaders are prepared to do that, yes, then that is the people will follow. People will understand the benefit. It has to be sustained. But if they think that you are imposing your will in order to beat them down so that you can go higher up, it's not going to work.
Roddy, I'm not going to call in the name, but I've told others after me at the parish council level that you are wasting time and money. There's an easier way. I have done it, and it becomes friendly. The men, them never leave them trash. Them put it back in the front of the truck. So where the goods come from, they care about them trash.
Yeah.
And I told them, use it to mulch banana and bring more banana.
So discipline.
They don't do it.
Well,
They say, Mr. Charles, that was them the days.
yeah, them the days. No. You have to stand.
Not no go so.
But right now, sir.
It's a them the men.
Let us go back to the municipal councils. The strong perception, notice what I say, perception, is that in the municipal councils, many of them, not all of them, I don't know all of them.
Yeah. Oh no, not all.
And in many areas of the public service, you can't get through unless you have appointments, unless you're prepared to drop a money.
Not only that. People come to me and ask me if I don't know nobody up at the office.
Yes, sir.
Why? So you can call to tell them, say me come in and can let me through.
Yes, sir.
We have allowed people to get that in their mind.
No, but then
that we can do it, and we have been doing it.
And then in the face of that cancer, because cancer it is, yes, JLP and PMP are fighters who must preside over that. And expect the loyalty and the sense of dignity from the people. There's a businessman this weekend told me, yes, he does a particular kind of business. And he says for every $1 million that he has to pay to government for certain processes, he has to find another $1 million to pay bribe.
Ronnie, and I said that...
That man is a man of truth.
Yes. A man of truth.
So what the hell are we doing? We're big up ourselves, busy ourselves about local government elections, about somebody sent off on leave, and the mayor of Kingston Uncle find out now the racket that's going on in building approvals. Yes, when most of us have known that for the longest time, and know that whole heap of relatives and friends will get apartment because you stretch that and go on. Yes, we are the architects of our own misfortune. We know what to do, and we say we know what to do, and yet then we go and become involved in the same thing. No, Mr. Charles, we can do better. Then we say, oh no, we're standing up for discipline. We have to increase the penalties in the Firearms Act.
Well, Ronnie, we are not pointing finger at any person. We are pointing finger at the system that is corrupt.
So therefore,
and it has to stop. If it don't stop,
no. But then,
rotten. Have you ever seen anything rotten and it stop halfway?
No.
It either rotten out.
Yes, sir. So what I'm telling you is that one side can't stop the rottenness. The only way the rottenness can stop is if there's no political advantage for keeping it going. If I am watching you and you are watching me because we have a single purpose, which is to clean up the system, change the system, we have a chance of making it work. If we don't do it that way, Mr. Charles, and this brings us right full circle to the arguments we've been having this morning. If we don't do it that way, you know what is going to happen? In the interests of getting things better, you're going to find a strong man, yes, or a strong woman coming in and saying, what you know, the whole year go sit down.
But let me repeat what you just said a while ago. I'm sure the danger in that. Here is a system that you have been given to manage, and there is a proper way of managing it. But you have somebody inside watching how you're managing it. So to prevent you from not managing it, that shouldn't have to be.
But even when
so this who is managing spend all the time watching you, and they say you didn't do it right, so them slip it and put you in. You go manage it and watch him, and we don't move forward.
But that is folly. Look at the majority of the 90-odd public bodies. Read the yellow book, the small part of it about the public bodies. Yes, see the amount of money that we have to provide the public bodies that are supposed to be self-financing, but are not. Yes, look at the number of them, Mr. Charles. Speak of the emeritus of the House of Representatives. Yes, the number of them who go years and years and years getting millions and billions of tax dollars, which could be spent elsewhere, education, health, security, whatever. Yeah, and who get that money and don't account for it, don't even have the decency of sending in draft accounts to the Parliament. And when one member, who shall be nameless, gets up and says, you know the answer to this? If they don't provide proper accounts, don't give them any more money. And all shout down that member.
Well, hold on. Because
and so what happened? You become conspirators in the very corruption that you say you're against.
Except the member must understand that the few that he's pointing at is the minority in who doing that.
No, it's not the few.
This is Ronnie. the system that we operate right now.
Yeah, but you are allowing the system, this concept of the system, yes,
to manage you rather than you managing it.
Absolutely, Mr. Charles, you say it yourself.
But when it's not lie.
No, but then do something about it now.
The system is managing us because the system points to one thing: who is going to be in charge?
You know the reason why? One reason, no, only one reason why I didn't offer myself for re-election, apart from age and other things, yes, was because so often what you try to do as a legislator, yes, it comes up against, quote unquote, the system. And the system, just as the Honorable Pearnel Charles just said, the system conforms you rather than you conform the system.
The system tell you that if you don't manage it my way, you won't be here.
Yes, and so I'd rather not be there. I'd rather influence it another way.
Well, Ronnie,
it don't make sense. Yes?
Your man does ball out in bed. What are we on it from clean now?
Oh, no.
What are we on never know this all the way?
Right.
Sir.
And I would say to the man in bed, you see, at least I got out of my bed and I tried. Yes? And it wasn't total failure. So if you go and stay in your bed and cast aspersions to me, yes, I reject that. Reject it because it's a personal disargument rather than an institutional disargument. And secondly, because the answer is not to throw barbs at each other. We're good at that. The answer is to see how we can combine and change that system.
That's a proper word. I am sure that there are many people listening to me this morning who say, but we didn't know there was another way,
Well,
why you have to put 20 or 30 women to clean a market?
I have to go.
I have 10 trucks to pick it up when it could go
be
back
done
to
another way. That's the thought on the early rise with the Honorable Pearnel Charles. This is the Bridge 99. When we come back, we join Nathaniel Peat and Nordia Teape, of the United Kingdom Diaspora Organization on the Early Rise. Stay tuned. Joining us on the Early Rise on the Bridge 99 FM this morning is our friend Nathaniel Peat, founder of the Safety Box in the United Kingdom, international speaker, business coach, engineer, and pilot. Wow! Nathaniel is the chairman of Jamaicans Inspired, a large diaspora organization in the United Kingdom, and the elected member for the South United Kingdom on the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, and Nordia Teape, the co-founder of the Integrated Diaspora Services. Both of you, good morning. Welcome home this morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. Morning, sir. How are you, sir?
And you bring a pretty lady with you this morning, home to Jamaica. Nathaniel Peat, not ordinary.
Yes, good morning, honorable gentlemen. Greetings. It's lovely to have. I tell you something, it was so refreshing just to hear the reggae music playing and just remind me back of Jamaica, in this cold country, England, that I'm in right now.
we know a little bit about Nathaniel Peat. We can go over it again, but we want to learn about Nordia Teape. Tell us about yourself, miss. How you reach England? What is your connection with Jamaica? You must tell us about that love affair.
All right. So to let that correction go, I am actually in Jamaica.
Oh, bless you. Good.
Yes.
You reach.
I'm actually in Jamaica, born Jamaica, never been plant here.
That's the ultimate dignity.
But which parish are you from?
I'm from Mandeville, Manchester. I'm sorry it's not coming out in my accent as good this morning. I'm from Mandeville, Manchester, born here, grew up here.
Lovely.
So I'm one of the co-founders of Integrated Diaspora Services. And what is unique about us is that we're a Jamaican-based company serving the diaspora.
Okay, good. No, that's a connection.
Very good.
Okay, fine. Wonderful. Now, Nathaniel Peat, bringing the heart back home. Both of you are going to take turns and tell us about what that really is. I gather is it today? Give us a preview.
Yes, so this is a seminar which has been really put together as a result of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council reps for the UK. That's myself and a gentleman by the name of Dr. Kevin Brown, and also Jamaicans Inspired, which is one of the largest youth diaspora organization in Europe, partnered then with Integrated Diaspora Services. There's a number of people that want to move back to Jamaica. There's a number of individuals that really want to remain connected to Jamaica. And, you know, we have required this bridge to assist with various different things, such as, you know, planning a funeral or even getting a TRN or renewing, you know, documentation for land, or there may be issues in terms of, you know, transportation, in terms of imports into Jamaica that they're trying to do. Yeah. Relocation can be a major hurdle for many diaspora members that are trying to get back into Jamaica. And so this seminar is going to be really providing vital and critical information. It is fully supported and endorsed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, and Honorable Leslie Campbell will be, who is in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs responsible for diaspora affairs, will be the keynote speaker, as well as the High Commissioner of Jamaica to the United Kingdom, that is His Excellency George Seth Ramakon, CD, will be also in attendance on the seminar, and myself and Kevin, as well as other distinguished speakers. And there is going to be a number of issues which are going to be discussed. Some of them include things like crime and violence, you know, returning back, what they need to do in terms of documentation to get a house or to get property. It is going to be really an opportunity for them to hear from, you know, property investment companies like Moreland Investments that are doing a lot of projects in the south portions of Jamaica, you know, around the south of Negril, in those areas near St. Elizabeth, as well as others which are going to be speaking around shipping and experts in that, and companies like Victoria Mutual that will give advice in terms of how they can get mortgages to invest in their iSave project, so that they have the ability to begin the process of purchasing our property in Jamaica. So it's a really, really good seminar, and it's a way in which Integrated Diaspora Services has stepped in as a Jamaican-owned, Jamaican-run company to really try to mobilize the diaspora around the world to help with the development plans of Jamaica. And this seminar is going to be a really good seminar for information, both for Jamaicans as well as those that are living outside of Jamaica right now. And so, yeah, that's essentially what the seminar and the webinar is about today.
No, that's good. Nordia, Teape, tell us about how Integrated Diaspora Services comes about, how you fit in with this.
As Nathaniel said, thank you for the question. As Nathaniel said, it's really, how do we prepare our people to come home? A lot of persons, and this is both persons who want to come back to Jamaica and persons who are Jamaica living overseas. They may not want to come back, but you want to invest home and be a part of your country. There are so many persons who want to, who fit in these categories, but they don't know how. They have been shafted before by trusting somebody who you probably appear to have wanted to do them well, but it didn't happen that way. And we want this seminar and our presence is to mitigate against these situations. A person's been scammed, unfortunately. Persons who have gone away for years and have no idea of the dynamics and the logistics of Jamaica. You know, and we have created this solution, this hand-holding on the ground, to provide the information you need, how to get a simple TRN that you really can't do any business in Jamaica without, right? Persons who have left Jamaica who their birth certificate, they don't have one, or they have this very, 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 you remember the pink one?
the pink slip.
Paper that many persons walking around proudly with.
Yes.
But don't realize that they can't use that anymore. You know, persons who want to sort out their citizenship, but their fathers may be missing out their birth certificate.
Very often.
Who have land and think that they still own the land, but they actually don't. Yes. You know, because there's no title. All those situations, we have positioned ourselves to help our people and hold their hands, making their dreams a reality on the island and build and develop our country.
No, what is our embassy doing? I mean, shouldn't many of these services be able to achieve through the embassies?
I wonder if Nordia wants to answer that. I might just say,
go ahead, sir.
I practice law, And I find that, regretfully, many persons abroad in the United Kingdom, in the United States, and Canada have not been able to get the kind of help on these very practical, sometimes so-called simple matters, but vital matters, which they need from the embassies and consulates. Not to say that they don't have many other preoccupations, which they do well, but it needs brokerage, it needs facilitation.
Yeah, but really, this is serving your own people.
Yeah.
And they have to wait months and months to send it through to Jamaica, work to the system.
So that's why you need integrated diaspora services. That's why you need a good lawyer. That's why you need seriously, somebody who is going to concentrate on your efforts. Nordia, am I correct?
Right. And I mean, to be certain, like you said, Sir Ronnie, that they are doing a bit. I can't say that they're not helping, but guess what? We realize the gap, and what we provide is support to the embassies, missions, and consulates across the world. And we work with the diaspora and Jamaica associations to make it possible. Because sometimes they can do so much and no more.
Yeah.
We want our people to be empowered, and we want our country to grow. So you know what? We have decided to provide that support to make it happen. So we work with them.
Yes. Nathaniel, Peat, one occasion such as is happening today is a vital step forward. But this has to be an ongoing movement, doesn't it?
Yes, of course. And, this has been building for some time. I remember heading out to Jamaica to sign an agreement with IDS back in 2019, I believe, or 2020. Either one of the, COVID has been around for some years now. I don't even remember, because I remember we were wearing masks when we did it. But nonetheless, it is a very important thing that we have to keep on building upon this, because we are beginning to find out that there is more and more people that want to help family members. Specifically, when you're speaking about funeral arrangements for, people that have died, during the coronavirus, this service is just been essential. Even my dad had utilized a service, in fact, I believe, with some shipping that he needed. Again, connecting, and it was a really outstanding service. And I don't attach my name to anything at all that is bad. And this is definitely something very good. And they have done a really good thing in connecting the gaps that we often face in the diaspora. Somewhat like the bridge. The bridge is established to connect the diaspora.
Well, indeed, we feel
a vital service.
We want to be part of the communications arm of just what you're doing. This is why we value this interview this morning, and the continuing connection. But let me take the frown off Pearnel's face. The consulate and the embassy, Mr. Charles, will help you to get a passport. Okay, but if, for example, you need to prove your father's citizenship, and his name is not on your birth certificate, they won't be able to go to the Registrar General's office and get a status of children application going.
But this committee that the minister said was setting up for diaspora people, you want to send something instead of going miles and miles around the same corner. Right?
We long to hear who is on that committee.
We need to know that committee.
I know that in education, for example, the National Education Trust is supposed to do this, but that's in a bit of limbo for other reasons. But the facilitation for personal business, as well as for philanthropic contribution, Nordia and Nathaniel, very, very important that we have the clearest possible lines, the widest possible highways for relationship with people in the diaspora, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes. So it's not to say government isn't doing what it should in the foreign service, but it is to say that people have a whole heap of business and a whole heap of need in the nature of how our diaspora has developed over long periods of time, where people move quickly, where their vital statistics aren't settled when they come. I really am taken by the reference to the pink slip, the pink paper. Yes.
We got a bit of that one. The one that is written with the hand.
Yes. Okay, and then to Nathaniel, as you pointed out to us today and previously, to set up a company, to become a shareholder, to buy property, all of these things require facilitation in Jamaica, don't they?
That's right. That's right. There's many people that want to invest, for example, in companies in the stock exchange, because the junior market was performing so well. In fact, being the best performing exchange in the world, I think 2018, 2019, doing very, very well. And so many of the diaspora members want to invest in Jamaica. They don't know how, because they've been so disconnected for some time. Then you have second and third generation that have been accustomed to going to Jamaica perhaps on vacation, but they want to really set up property over there. They want to have a house, or they want to have a holiday home. How do they do that? And this is where the services is really critical in stepping in. And it is not about replacing the embassies or replacing the work of the missions, because they do a vital job in helping people to get citizenship and sorting out issues that they may have around visas, etc. It is to support the missions, because oftentimes what you find is the consulars that are in locations are somewhat stretched in terms of their capacity because of the staffing needs, or just the sheer volume that they're dealing with. And so this is a way in which the diaspora groups connected to IDS can support them by shedding off some of the load from them. When somebody goes to, let's say, get a passport done and they have the wrong documentation, that frustrates the diaspora. But then it frustrates also the missions.
Of course.
And therefore, with a service like IDS, it is somewhat like a gatekeeper to ensure they have the right documentation to prevent any problems that they may get once they are applying for their passport or their citizenship. So it's a critical service.
So what you are doing is outside of Britain.
In Britain. Outside.
That's right.
Yes.
This is for the whole of the diaspora. This is for the whole of the diaspora.
You have a committee that have that connection.
Yeah, this is Nordia's task, the Integrated Diaspora Services, which I gather is not just locally based. It is locally based, but it has foreign sinews and muscles connected with people like Nathaniel, Peat, and I trust you'll tell me elsewhere as well.
Yes. We work with the global, so we're strategic partners with the Global Jamaica Diaspora
Council.
Yes. No, and what I love is that you've seized upon a need and started a business to satisfy it. That's good. That's how enterprise develops. But I'd really like Nathaniel, Pete, to tell me work me through today. What's going to happen? How do people connect, first of all, and what can we expect out of it? Is it just going to be people talking to others? Is there a possibility of feedback? Give us a preview.
Well, we're going to have greetings directly from the senator, who will then speak directly to the need of this and how the ministry has partnered.
Okay.
There's going to be presentations.
Tell him not to talk for too long. You hear?
All right. No.
He's our friend. He's our friend, and he's a very bright man. But what we want to do is to get the nuts and bolts, don't we?
That's right. That's true. So they can connect via a registration link, which is literally if they Google Heart Back Home. Heart Back Home.
I love that title, by the way. Whose idea was that, Nordia?
That's our mantra, really. Bringing the heart back home.
Really? Bringing the heart back home. I like that, Pearnel.
Yes, because if the heart come, the body have to come.
There you go. There you go.
So after Senator Campbell, then
you'll have greetings. You'll have greetings from myself and also from the High Commissioner to the United Kingdom.
Sure.
Dr. Kevin Brown, my colleague on the Jamaica Diaspora Council, will then take over as a moderator and introducing the speakers. You have speakers directly from the Assistant Commissioner for the Police, the JCF. In addition to that, there will be a colleague of mine that's in Jamaicans Inspired, which is Moreland, a representative from Moreland Investments. You have also Percival, the president of the Jamaican Association for the Resettlement of Returning Residents.
The redoubtable Percival Latouche, a man who is idiosyncratic, but who I admire because of his persistent defense of the interests of returning residents.
Definitely. And definitely a must to have in this panel, as well as Beverly Johnson, a good friend of mine that's in Birmingham. She's involved in shipping. And Leighton Smith, who is the chief representative officer for VM Group.
And this is where a key link, The finance industry is a key link, and using the mutual companies that like Jamaica National, now differentiated, and Victoria Mutual, still a mutual enterprise. That is critical for the returning residents. That's where people have saved their money. True, Nordia?
It is. It is very, very critical.
Yeah, and they're open, as other institutions are not quite as open to the concerns.
It's more friendly.
Hi, we're talking straight on this program, you know. That's good. Good to hear that. So, each of these are going to make a presentation, Nathaniel.
Yes, that's right. Each are going to make a presentation, and there will be the opportunity for questions to be asked directly to the panel as well. A number of people will have questions, and this is where we can directly put this to these individuals that will be able to explain things. If they're not able to answer it within the dialogue which they give, I mean, each of the individuals are very experienced, and they probably will be able to answer questions as they're delivering their presentation.
Yes.
But nonetheless, there will be the opportunity for questions, as well as the linkages to IDS after this, as well as some of those members that will be on the panel.
2 or 3 minutes we have left. Let's put some pith into them. First of all, we on the Bridge and EarlyRise need your coordinates so that we can keep repeating them and telling people where to get help, because we need Jamaican investment. We need local investment to fund our capital improvements in Jamaica, much more than we need foreign people coming in who are not Jamaican, see? And besides which, we have a moral responsibility to facilitate our own people. Who's paying for all of this, Nathaniel, Peat? How is this being costed? What are the money implications? People will want to know who want to reserve.
Well, this has been done for free.
What?
We are putting on this seminar for free. Why are we doing this for free? We're doing this for free because the need is there. And the information that people can get, we are pulling together. And this has been done purely for the love of Jamaica. This has been purely for the love of Jamaica, purely for the love of the people of Jamaica, purely for the love to ensure that we get investment in Jamaica, because I'm telling you, there's too much issues in Jamaica where families are struggling. We need local investment. We need the diaspora to put into Jamaica. We need the jobs to go to Jamaicans when they come into the island.
One of the things that excites me about this is that generation of Jamaicans who were born in foreign countries and have done well and want to come back to Jamaica. Not only send their money back here, some would like to come and serve in other areas.
Sure.
And we have a team of parliamentarians over there today.
Do we?
Yes.
Peat, we have a seat ready for you when you're ready to come back, sir.
Well, you never know, you never know, trust me.
Pete,
but you're right, there are Jamaican diaspora members of parliament. You have David Lammy and Don and
we don't want you only there.
I've asked him to say it for me because I want you on my side.
No. We can share. So tell us before we break, how do people listening to us anywhere in the world, how do they connect with this now? What time of day is it? What's the connection? Nathaniel?
Nordia, do you want to go ahead with that?
Sure.
It's 7 o'clock in the UK. So the UK time is 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And
7 to 9.
That's 2 p.m. That's 2 p.m. Jamaica local time.
Right.
And you just have to work out the
People
time
adjust themselves
from Jamaica and adjust it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
so remember 2 p.m.
It's YouTube, it's Facebook, and it's Zoom.
YouTube, Facebook, and live stream. So personally, additional information. Can I give out some numbers?
Of course.
All right. So if additional information, you can get us at 876-852-7716.
Let's repeat.
876.
Yes. 852-7716.
Okay. Or 1-347-737-0478 for those who are overseas and may want an overseas number. Or you can email us at integrateddiasporaservices@gmail.com.
Listen, got you. Let me just repeat that. 876-852-7716. Email integrateddiasporaservices altogether @gmail.com. Listen, hope that people all over will take advantage of this incomparable opportunity. Really appreciate the fact that both of you have, or both your services are offering it free. Interested to hear the follow-up that takes place to the kind of reaction that you get, and opening us ourselves on the bridge, and particularly the EarlyRise, to continue to communicate the services that are available for people. Thank you both very much for this morning, and always. We'll talk again.
Take care and goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good.
Nathaniel Peat, who is well known as the chairman of Jamaicans Inspired, and Nordia Teape, co-founder of Integrated Diaspora Services. Reaching out to the diaspora this morning, let me repeat those numbers, 876-852-7716. Make sure that you call Integrated Diaspora Services at gmail.com. Bringing the heart back home, a service we offer on the EarlyRise, as we thank the Honourable Pearnel Charles and all those who make this program possible, and invite you, life spare, God willing, tomorrow.
As we will be here.
Yes.
And hope you are as lively as you are today.
You inspire me.
I'm very excited about this team of guys
Yeah.
who have come to us.
Yeah.
And I hope that they are passing this excitement to
Yeah.
diaspora Jamaicans.
It's a new day in Jamaican media and in Jamaica diaspora relations.
Yeah.
Richard B. coming up, so stay tuned to The Bridge.